You have to forgive me. My eyeballs are something that I should probably work on too. I think my teeth and the skin cancer should come first, whatever. But I definitely should work on my eyeballs too, because though I can see in the dark like a cat or a bat, uh, I rigged my I rigged my little headlight up here to my foot so it'll shine the light on me, because I'm in between. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm in the middle of nowhere, Florida. I think the last town up, uh, I had to stop and take a break because I rode hard today, man. I'd lost so much time uh, uh, yet last night. I made it to Sebastian last night. Got rained on again, man. I mean, it's just been nothing but rain here. It's rainy season here in Florida, but not nearly as bad as Vermont. So, God, help those people. Uh, well, kind of hunkered down here. There's a nature preserve, and I always said that the last time I was talking, but there's actually a couple of them here. But this is the one. This is the one that I knew was coming. Uh, I've made this jaunt already before, so I knew this was coming, and this is it. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Uh, I'm in between. Crap, because I'm in between the middle of nothing and nothing, and I got to cross this nothing land, and but we're gonna do it. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and this is the best time to go. The weather's nice and cool. There's very little traffic, and so we're gonna cross it now. It's a nature preserve, and once we get into it, maybe there'll be some signs, and I think there are. I think there's some signs that say what the name of this nature preserve is, and if I see them, because it's kind of dark out here, and if you don't have mosquito spray, man, you'll get the shit kicked out of you. But I will once I get past that, then I'll be into Jupiter. That's what's south of us is Jupiter. Once we get into Jupiter, uh, we'll hit Palm Beach County, and that's kind of our target. I'm not going to make it. I probably won't make it to Hollywood. I'm definitely not going to make it to Hollywood. Tomorrow. Uh, but if we get into Jupiter, that puts us in West Palm, and from there, we can make it to Hollywood and go see this man. I'm just gonna say his name's Jerry. He's a really good guy. He's a really good guy. I love him, man. He's a good Christian guy, and he helps out homeless people. And we're gonna go pick his brain, and say, hey, I want to change the mandate of this channel, and slightly. My offer still stands to anyone that has a small business. It's always free. But you got to be a small business. I'm not going to do this for McDonald's or anybody else, But if you're a small business and if you want free advertising on my channel, it's free. It don't cost you nothing. I do take donations, but it's free. Throw me a cheeseburger, and you get a free advertisement. And where we just left from, uh, there were so many little, West Palm is like a really big county, and Brevard's a really big county. But between the two of them, there's a bunch of little ones, a bunch of little ones. And they're all good towns, man. They are, man. They're, real nice towns. I mean, it's been pretty much sidewalk the whole way, man. I love US 1, man. I do. I love it. But there are some gaps. there are some gaps that, if you don't, you get caught in them, and you don't have mosquito spray, you're gonna get beat up. A little ways back, the next town back up, man, I can't remember the name of it, but it's not really important. It's in between Jupiter, West Palm, and those little gap of these little counties and these little towns. But it's been sidewalked the whole way, so that's been really nice. I mean, I haven't had to ride on the highway. I just stayed right on the sidewalk. I didn't even turn my lights on. I mean, I saved my batteries. Just to so that I save the batteries because they cost money. And I didn't need them because I just didn't need them. But it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm on the edge of this preserve. I can see it from here, where it begins. I'm going to cross it. I'm going to do it now, when there's no traffic or very little traffic anyway. I can hear them coming behind me, so I can hop over to the other side, make sure I don't get run over again, because I've been run over by cars twice, and it hurts. It hurts to get hit by a car. It does. I spent over 2 years in Boca Raton over getting, run over by a car. I'll tell you that story later, or you can just look it up. I'm going down to Hollywood to see a man named Jerry, and hopefully he'll work with me. And one of the things I said is I'm going to change the mandate, or I'm not going to change anything. The offer still stands out there for small businesses to advertise on my YouTube channel for free. That will always stand, always. But a very old friend of mine, and she is very, very wise, and I love her very much. She said to me, she calls me Teddy. I love her for that. Her whole family, well, what's left of them anyway, calls me Teddy. And she said, Teddy, you've been homeless for several years now. Maybe you should do something for homeless people. Show them how to survive. How have you survived? Well, I'm tenacious. She's like, well, you should teach that to the homeless people. And I believe she's absolutely right. And I'm not going to tell you her name right now, but I tell you what, guys. I love her. I love this girl. I mean, I'm not just saying that, facetiously. Oh, no. I love this girl. I've known her my whole life. Her and her whole family. Her brother is my blood. I'm actually blood brothers with her brother. We played chicken on a bicycle one morning, and, nobody gave way, and pow, we smashed into each other on these bicycles, and we were bleeding all over the sidewalk in front of our house. We were like 7 years old, and we mixed the blood. AIDS didn't exist back then, or we were just too ignorant to know about, shouldn't swap blood with other people, whatever. And we became blood brothers. And we became family. Oh, my little headlamp fell over there. Yeah, because like I said, I'm kind of in the middle of nowhere here. Oh, come on. Okay, that's still good enough. All right, we'll go with that. I'm not going to fight with it. So we're at the edge of this preserve, and when we get to the end of it, we will be in Palm Beach County. We'll hit Jupiter. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, so there's really no traffic, and this is the best time to do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get across this preserve, and as I don't know the name of it, but if I see a sign, I'll maybe on my next video I'll say, oh, that was the name of that preserve, and it's real pretty. It is, man, but it's got some really big mosquitoes, and mosquitoes are pretty fast. You'd be surprised how fast a mosquito can fly. So we're gonna do it anyway. I just didn't want you to think. I didn't want you all to think that that we're going to give up on this. We're not. We're going to go down there to Hollywood, and we're going to talk to Jerry, whether I put his name out there or not. I won't say his last name yet, but if he gives me permission, then I'll give you his last name. But he's a really good guy, and he has a lot of information. This guy, this is what he does for a living. He helps homeless people. I know he does this for a living because he helped me, and the organization that he was affiliated with, when I met him, he's not with them anymore, but when he was, where we met, he was just really good to me. He always uplifted my spirits, and, for some reason he took a shine on me, which it's not the first time in my life this has happened, whatever. But I do believe, he can give us some tidbits of information on how to, kind of change our mandate a little bit. So, let's pull some, let's pull some of his information out of his head, and try to look. Even mosquito spray, they'll still get you. Mosquitoes are vicious, man. But even with his, we're going there to pick his brain and see what kind of knowledge he really has, and if he wants to jump on board with this and help me out, I'm going to take the help. I am, no man is an island, and we all need each other. Nobody can do anything other than that. I love Donald Trump. I do. I love Donald Trump. But he said, I alone can, fix what. Can't do it alone, man. We all have to do it together. I want to see Donald Trump get on a bicycle and ride from one end of Florida to the other, which I've done here in the last 6 weeks, that y'all been watching me. I mean, I've made it all the way past, way past Daytona, Ormond Beach, and, we all saw what happened to me in Ormond Beach, Pretty much that happens to me every day. Around 5, it's that time of the year, you could set your watch by it, around 5 o'clock, and it comes in sideways, and, that's been happening to me for 5 weeks now, Sometimes I'll ride in it, sometimes I won't, it just depends. The way I have the bicycle rigged up, I can take it, I can actually ride in the rain, but when it comes in sideways like that and with lightning, I try to stay out of it, because Florida is the lightning capital of the world. More people get hit by lightning here than anywhere else in the world. So you got to be careful, and so I try to protect myself as best I can. I've been run over by cars, quicksand. I don't know how many times I've been electrocuted. All the times that I should have been killed and I wasn't. And so, like I said, it's about 3 a.m, and so I'm going to cross this preserve. And if there's a sign for it and the name of it out, in my next video I'll post it. The name of that preserve. It's really the big one. It's really the big one. There are a couple of others, north of here, but come on. But this one's a big one, and there's like no water, no. mosquitoes and land crabs, because it does run along along the intercoastal. Pretty much we're riding up and down US 1, and on this side of the intercoastal it's US 1. I could go to the other side of the intercoastal and ride A1A, which is a beautiful ride. It is, man. It definitely takes you right along the Atlantic right there. But part of the problem with that is that, a lot of rich people like Oprah Winfrey, Orca Blimpie, whatever you want to call her, they own all this property, and then they build these mansions, and then you can't even see the water in this private beaches. Like, how can you own the beach? I don't know. In my adventures, I've actually walked up and down that beach, and I didn't give a crap about what they thought they owned. I would cruise up and down the sand, right along the coast. I don't care. You don't own the beach. You don't own the water. You don't own the ocean. That's mine. If anybody owns it, it's me. Well, we got a good nap. We landed here in the spot we're at, right at the beginning of it, and we took a nap and charged up the phone so that we have some music to cross this with, and we're listening to Pandora. I know I said I would never, promote corporations or anything. I don't know if Pandora is an actual corporation. It's just an app in the phone, but it probably is a corporation. But I got to tell you what, man, I love my Pandora. And so we're going to cross it. But in case, a wild boar gores me, or an alligator gets me, or even if it's a land crab or a rattlesnake, or because every living, crawling, venomous thing with fangs that it's in this preserve. So I'm gonna hustle through it as quick as I can. Because it's like 3. The sun will be up in about 3 hours. It won't take me that long to get across it. It won't, because once I get started, I'm going to hustle. I'm going to hustle to get across it. It's not the first time that I've had to hustle my way across a forest or a preserve. America, especially here in Florida. Florida's a zoo. It's a zoo, man. I mean, every living, crawling thing that's venomous and has fangs and claws and teeth, it lives here, And now we even have, unindigenous creatures that live here now that are just... I heard we got monitor lizards here, and I've heard some real horror stories about those guys. I haven't come across one yet, but I have heard that they are here. But we're just going to pedal our little ass as far as we can, and just get into West Palm. If we can get into West Palm, by the time the sun comes up, then I'll be happy about that. I'll find a nice park somewhere, and I'll take a break then. And Boca Raton is our next objective. I want to get to Boca Raton. I would like to be there before noon tomorrow, because I know a real nice church there, and I would like to talk to them. All right, guys, I'm going to put the headlamp on my head so I can have a little bit of light ahead of me. Make sure the bike is nice and wrapped tight. And I've done really good on that. I sure have. Because I've wrecked a couple, the bike wrecks. Sometimes not even with me on it. Sometimes I just, set the bike down and it'll fall over. And but the way I've rigged the bicycle, even when it falls over, everything stays inside of it. And so, that's pretty nice. I almost, I have to be careful where I'm sitting at. All right, they're not going to bother me. I almost made my first police video tonight, where, this is not the mandate of my channel. I'm not one of those YouTubers that, follow the police around and, piss them off and bless those hearts that do that. Those guys, it needs to be done. The government needs to be put in check. We need to, police the police. And I did make a video, and the cop, right, I stayed way back from him because, I'm not trained, I don't know the laws like some of those guys, they're, they've trained themselves to do that, and I have not, but I stayed back a good, 50 feet at least 50 feet, Even the cop was like, hey, that headlight, and I was like, hey, what about the headlight? How about all them lights on your car, man? You're blinding everybody on the highway, But I did turn my headlamp off, but I continued to record. And then when I played the video back, it was real scratchy and everything. So, but I was listening to Pandora. So if I find myself in that situation again, like I said before, this is a learning curve. I'm learning, I'm just getting started. I've only been doing this for like maybe 5 weeks, 6 weeks. That's it, So I'm just now learning. But I did record them, and I probably saved this guy's bacon. Because it's kind of in where I'm at. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. I'm sure it's a name of it, but it's just the next town down is Jupiter, and I believe north here. I think I think the last time that I saw a town, I think it was Northport or something along those lines. I'd have to get on the the Google Maps and actually see. But I record. I started recording these cops, harassing this guy, and I'll bet you I saved his bacon, man. Had they thought that nobody was watching, there's no telling what they could have done to this guy, And they wound up letting him go. He sure did, man. And he got in his truck and ran, man. I don't blame him, man. The few times that they've actually let me go, I ran, I was like, hey, get away from him, because they usually don't let you go. All right, guys, this is it, man. We're going to cross this preserve, and then tomorrow we'll be in Palm Beach County. And once we hit there, it'll be sidewalk all the way to Hollywood, and we're gonna go see Jerry. I want to get to at least back to Boca Raton again, and because there, there's a real nice church there that pretty much kept me alive. Pretty much kept me alive for the last couple of years, with food and whatnot. Because I was in the middle of a lawsuit that I lost. I'll tell you that story later, I'll tell you that story later. But that's where we're at right now. I just didn't want y'all to think I'd forgotten about you, because I haven't, man. This is, we're going down to Hollywood to talk to Jerry, and we're going to change the mandate on this channel a little bit, and maybe we can help some homeless people. I shouldn't hide all the knowledge that I have, to help some people, help them survive, get along, make their lives a little easier. I've been homeless since the COVID hit. I spent my whole life in the carnival business, and the COVID killed it. And kind of a long story, and I know these videos are not supposed to run on too long. So, just as time goes on here, I'll keep telling you my story so that you kind of understand where I'm coming from and what I went through, and maybe some of the tricks that I have, I can pass on to other people, and hopefully, it'll make their lives a little easier. That's the goal here. Is to try to help make other people's lives a little bit better, and show America, that we're the most tenacious people on the planet, or we're supposed to be anyway, and make things a little better. All right, guys. I'm going to cross that preserve right now. As soon as I hang up with you, I'm getting on the old bicycle there, and let's see what happens. All right.